Hi, greetings and welcome fellow internet users. How's it going? You alright? Firstly, I want to apologise a little bit for the inconsistency of the content from the previous week. Last week we had one of our offices were closing down, so it was a bit all hands on deck, and so my time wasn't really focused on trying to get my YouTube channel sorted out, but more or less getting things moved, logistics, and a lot of hectic stuff that's even still going on now. A couple of weeks, about a week later, it might still even be going on to next week. But as I said, firstly, I do apologise about, as I said, the mix-up that was going on last week. I think even at one point I didn't realise that my Friday video was supposed to go out on Friday. It actually came out on Thursday. Yeah, sorry about that. However, this week we also seem to have quite a fair good few things going on in VR. We had the Doom game that was launched, and also the PvP DLC for Farpoint. Firstly, which are both great games that they worked absolutely wonders. Firstly, the Doom game, as you may know, is one that we've been waiting for a long time, and I am so pleased they put the aim controller on that. First off, when I tried using the aim controller, it was a little bit weird. I mean, I didn't know if they did it properly, because I had like two floaty hands in front of me going, ooh, I'm going to be disembodied and in front of your face constantly, like a permanent fixture to your eyes. And it just really didn't seem well. But once you carried on with the game, once you actually got into the game, your right hand seemed to have took on the position of the aim controller, and you could start moving around. Although initially you could only teleport. However, when you go into the settings and manage to sort out all the settings and smooth turning and this, that and the other, you do have proper full motion, full movement, full turning, proper everything. And it was exactly how like Farpoint was when it first went out. So therefore you was turning, ducking, diving, dodging, blasting barons of hell and macubuses that are coming at you left, right and centre, and it was a complete slugfest, and it was wonderful. It was very enjoyable. Little bit short. I mean, I did that in 2 videos. I mean, I did, well, 3 videos actually. I mean, the first video actually crashed out on me, so again I do apologise about splitting this into 3 videos, one of them only being about 5 or 10 minutes long. But yeah, the entire game can be done in about 2.5 hours approximately, give or take. As for the difficulty level that goes with that, you've got the 3 standard levels. You've got the please don't hurt me plenty. Actually, I can't remember what the name of the weakest one was. But the second one was hurt me plenty and ultra violence. Now the weakest one is more or less aimed for those people using Move controllers, because when you're using the Move controllers you can't move, you have to teleport anywhere that you want to go, so therefore you can't really get that proper fluid motion of defending yourself by backpedaling, sidestepping and blasting things by popping out of the corner, unless you're teleporting out of the corner. But so therefore I think that the weakest move would be for the Move controllers, whilst Hurt Me Plenty, the middle of the 3, seems to be ideal and perfect for the aim controller, because that gives you a little bit of extra challenge and a lot of monsters, so that was certainly quite hard to hit. I thought it was kind of because I'm very much a I wouldn't say Doom expert, but a Doom connoisseur, because I've been playing Doom ever since it first came out in the 5 disc version on 3 and a half inch floppy drives, and I used to play this game all the time, so I knew like the names, and I knew how many shots that it took from a shotgun to put down the Pinky Demon. You know, like 3 shots from the standard shotgun or 1 shot from the double barrel shotgun. Yeah, I know the logic doesn't make sense, the math doesn't make sense, but the double barrel shotgun was supposed to be more powerful than a single shotgun. However, it did not work on here when I say, Pinky, okay. I got the double barrel shotgun, bang! Bang, 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 get away from me, get away from me. I mean, it was a quite hard time trying to put one of those things down. So that was a little bit of a shock when I tried that. However, still quite a lot of fun. Doom VFR, I certainly recommend. The next game on the list was Farpoint. Now, Farpoint, if you haven't got it already, I certainly recommend. Farpoint is an absolute wondrous of a game, and it's the game that introduced us to the aim controller. And the aim controller is one of the controllers that we have been waiting for a long time to come out. Now that it's here, I want as many games to be using the aim controller as possible, until they at least decide to come out with a proper Move 2.0, one that's actually got move sticks on it, allows you to move. But Farpoint is an absolute must of a game buy, and to get the aim controller to come with it. Now recently, Farpoint has just done a free DLC for anyone that's got the PlayStation Plus membership and also the PlayStation game. So, anyone who's got the PlayStation Plus membership as well as the Farpoint game, we've got a new free DLC which involves a PvP map. Now originally we didn't have PvP with Farpoint, so now that they've just brought out or introduced a I think someone called it Call of Duty, but a leveling based system for PvP. 1v1, where you go into an area and you've got all these type of icons. Not too sure what you can call them, but you can call them backup, you can call them allies. You go over this little marker and it'll give you 2 bars. One of the bars is how much resources you've got, and the other bar is how much resources this costs. And if you stay in there for a certain amount of time, you can call on these monsters to help you out, whether it be little mini spiders to just flank them and distract your opponent, to massive, great big stompers that want to come beam your opponent to oblivion. I called my little one Ed 209. It was a great guy. Really held the fort for us. And this sort of gameplay is a head-to-head style gameplay I haven't actually seen before, and it is a nice refreshing new way of playing PvP. It also involves a little bit of strategy as well as one-to-one shooter. It's not just track down your opponent and see if you can kill him before he kills you. You have to look around, see if you've got enough resources to get allies onto your side, so that your allies can fight his allies, or if they can like track him down. I sometimes went on the tactic of getting drones to fly out, and when they start shooting at him, I can find that's where you are. So I then flank around behind him or my opponent and try and sneak up behind him whilst my drones were distracting him. But likewise, if you can do that to them, they can do that to you. They'll be sending armies after you. They'll be sending snipers. They'll be sending bombers out of you. They got the massive monster stompers or ground crawlers or whatever you call them. Spiders, monsters, and guns, all firing at you. Yeah. So the Farpoint DLC download. If you've got Farpoint already, go get it, and I'll meet you guys out there on the battlefield. It was a great download, and certainly one that we really do appreciate them getting down. So, well done, guys. Thanks for getting us that game. We really do appreciate it, and the community loves you for it. Okay, on to the last thing. Some of you may have noticed that I'm doing a sort of 360 advent calendar for December Christmas. Now, when it comes to creating animations and graphics in 3ds Max, I can't do 360 videos with animations. I can only do single JPEG pictures, single panoramic pictures. That's why the advent calendars that I've been putting out will only be a single frame with no sounds, because I just basically want it out there as something that every day something new comes in. You know, like the advent calendar that it should be. And I got on the idea from something that we used to have when I was a kid growing up. Something we had was teletext. Yeah, teletext. You guys might not know this, but before the days of the internet, we had our own version of the internet called TV. And no, I'm not just talking about channels 1 to 5 or whatever you guys have out there in America. TV had teletext. It was their own version of an interconnectivity network that people could put up, and you press the text button on your remote control. You bring up this text-based screen, and they move these texts into all different types of shapes and form in what they called ASCII code, I think, and made all wondrous stuff like bamboozle challenges, or you can get like the news reports on BBC One, or you can get the ITV TV guides, and some people had their own little text pages. So teletext was our version of the internet before the internet actually existed, and I'm talking round about back in like 1970, 1980. This is when we was using this. And one of the things that I used to love on teletext was they had this sort of advent calendar. So every day on when it was December, when I was coming up to Christmas, every day I would open up the advent. I think it was Channel 4 that did the advent calendar. Open it up, type in the page number. I think it was page 199 or something, and then go to the advent calendar. And every day they'll put a little new picture in this big picture. It would like represent like a street, and maybe a couple of stars come up one day, or Santa said across the sky, street lamps, holly, mistletoe, all new things. Every day something new would appear, and at the end of it you would have this on December the 25th, you'll have this massive cram of all Christmassy sort of stuff with the big words Merry Christmas. And I loved that, and I wanted to try and recreate something like that, something that we had back in 1980 on text, in text-only graphical version. I wanted to recreate something like that for December, for our Christmas here in 360 videos. So that's kind of what I'm doing with my Stick Men in Space Station Advent Calendar. So every day we will get a new item. It's just going to be a straightforward picture for about 30 seconds of the previous day. Then after 30 seconds, something new will fade in. And you've got to look around to see if you can spot, okay, what's different, what's new. Okay, oh, that wasn't there before. I don't remember like parcels on the Christmas tree than the previous day. Were those lights over there? I can't remember. So every day something new will be added to it. At the start it was brand, and when it comes to December the 25th, it was going to be full and packed of everything. And it might be anything from something that I've seen from another channel that I've converted into stick figures, or it may be just extra lights on the place, or it could be some models which I thought were nice and impressive and put in. Or it may even represent something that we've done, whether it be from like Skyrim or Skyrim or Doom or whatever. Everything's got some sort of, well, actually no, everything doesn't have a meaning. Some things might have some meanings, some things might just be stuff. But I hope that you enjoy this, and I'm kind of looking forward. This is sort of opening my ideas, my thoughts to new things, and I think when the new year's done, I would like to create some proper montages, some like videos where, even though they're in single frames, where you've got these great big massive monsters hanging over the cameras, and like people like in like standstill sword fighting poses where you look like major battles are raging around you, and you've caught that one moment where you can just look around at everything. And I'll do it to a nice musical montage. So that's something that I would like to look into to try and create for this channel, moving forward into the new year. Speaking of which, hopefully we'll be able to keep a few things, because our budget is starting to run a little bit low, and a few subscriptions are going to be coming up soon, so hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get past those bridges. Yes, so that's what we have so far. So thanks very much for watching. Sorry I didn't do a video yesterday on Thursday, but I'm going to stop doing my live broadcasts on Thursday, just for the sheer fact that I'm going to need to be using Thursdays to do videoing, to do editing, to put some other projects in. So I would like to try and see if I can cut my live broadcasts down to like 3 days a week, so Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday you probably might not see from me, but on Thursday I will be doing a lot of like videoing, editing and other stuff that I need to be doing. Whereas Friday you get my weekly reports, and yeah, I think that's that for today. Hopefully, please don't forget to like and subscribe. There are plenty more things that are coming out. We still got some other videos coming off from the Sci-Fi London. So far, as you may have seen before, we have put in a couple of videos up already. We've put on the lightsaber show that we did 2 weeks ago. Lightsaber show with one of the songs from the live music audience that we had. Also, last week we put out the HoloLens. I've still yet to make the cut for the comedy, but that has to be an 18 rate because there's lots of swearing for the comedy acts. And it was quite dark, so you might not be able to see much in that. So I'll try and see if I can mix and match some editing up for you on that. And there are still a couple of other things. Like I said, the entire musical number, which went on for about an hour, but it was quite dark, so it will just be an hour of music, really. Okay, so I think we'll time to wrap this up. Thanks very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching this as much as I've enjoyed creating this, and believe me, I do enjoy creating this. I don't get much out of YouTube monetary wise, but I do enjoy creating this. I do enjoy making this stuff for you guys out there, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this as much as I do enjoy creating this. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks very much, and I'll see you guys out there. It's the off button.